Hi, my name is Tanya and welcome to Utility Jane. Today I have some leftover roast chicken that I'm going to make a couple of simple chicken recipes and they taste so good. This was the first time I made this one. I am so happy with it. I will be making it again. It's meant to be a hot meal, but I had leftovers that were cold and it was more delicious than when it was hot, I think. Okay, so I'm going to start with the pie and I'm just going to get a whole heap of veg cooked. I've got random different types of potatoes left over and I'm just going to start with some basic carrots, some potatoes. This one will cook down softer than the other one is a bit more of a firmer potato, so some will go into the sauce and the firmer one will stay in firmer pieces when it is cooked. So getting all this chopped up and in the pot. I've got some onion. Give that a stir. Now I'm going to get these on and cooking because these will take longer than the other things I'm going to put in it. So I've got some olive oil, some seasoned salt, some pepper, some sweet paprika, and some sea salt. Get that all tossed through, cover everything with the seasonings while that cooks down, and I get this chard chopped up. I absolutely love chard. Some frozen celery. When I find it on special, I chop it up and put it in the freezer, and it's perfect for going into these sorts of recipes. That way I always have it on hand, because if I have it just in the fridge, then it ends up getting wilted and going brown. So my groceries get delivered, I just chop it up and put it into bags, and then if I want fresh, I leave a couple of pieces out. So I've got some broccoli I'm getting chopped, ready to go in. I've chopped my chard and just set it aside. I'm chopping up all the broccoli, and I've got a little packet of stock. There's the chicken, putting that in. Now we'll get that coated with the oil and the spices, getting that cooked down. It is going in the oven because I've got a pie crust to go on top, but just getting it started cooking here. The more cooking it gets done on here, the less it has to do in the oven, and it's more about then browning the crust, and that is it. Keeping my space clean and tidy so I can keep organized. And here's a little packet of stock that I bagged up after making a lamb roast the other week. So we'll just get that in and melted. Now I'm going to make a slurry with a bit of flour, seasoned salt, some sea salt. We always have to put seasoning into the slurry, otherwise it just takes it out of what we've seasoned in the pot. So we have to keep that seasoned as well. Giving that a toss while that stock is slowly melting down. Now I've got my little pie crust here. It's nice and soft. I'm going to just check my sourdough starter, and it's looking good. Slowly the stock is melting. I've got my dish out. I picked a good size, and the stock is just about melted. I'm going to add the chard and get that all tossed through, because it's just about at the end of the time I have it on the stove. Just a little bit of ice left in there. Get that melted before I put the slurry in. Okay, so we've got some water in the slurry. I've just got a little bit more water just in case I need it, and get that in, and we have to stir straight away because otherwise it will set in the middle of the vegetables and it will be very, very thick. So getting that mix through. I don't want a big lot of gravy, sort of liquid in there, just enough to keep it all together so it's not too dry. And that's looking great. It smells so good. Now I'm going to put that stove down to low. I'm going to taste, make sure the seasonings are good, and add a little bit more salt and a little bit more pepper. We want the ingredients to come through, so we'll get them in the dish, making sure not to leave any behind. I mean, you could make this with just a whole heap of leftover vegetables. I had a couple of potatoes left and that was it, but you know, using up what you have. I've got the pie crust rolled out and put on and into the oven. Now I'm going to start on this quinoa chicken and vegetable dish. I'm cutting up some capsicum, get all the veg chopped so that I can just get straight into cooking it, and I'm not stopping and trying to get things cut before, you know, the time. Get some broccoli pieces cut similar size so that they cook in a similar time. So I've got capsicum, broccoli, carrots and onion. Like I said, I found this to be really nice being warm, and you can reheat it, but having it cold as a salad, it's like a meal in a salad. It was absolutely delicious. I think I liked it better that way. Now we're just going to put the capsicum and the broccoli in the pan, add some oil, some salt, some pepper, and I've got some Mexican spice, like chili spice. I'm just going to get those all tossed, and the broccoli and the capsicum only really need to be lightly cooked and tossed, more like a stir fry, so that they're not overcooked. I take them out and then cook the carrot and the onion. We're getting those all tossed with spices, getting the onion cut up. I've got some stock that I had defrosting because I don't want it cooking like the pie. I've added some garlic. I've got defrosted my stock because I want it to not overcook the quinoa when that goes in. So that was defrosting while I was making the pie. Get all these toasted. Just the color looks so beautiful. Now I'm going to get them out of the pot, and then I'm going to put them aside. Got my pot heating up again, add a bit more oil. We'll get the carrot and the onion in and frying off. Get a bit more salt and pepper. Get those coated in the oil and the seasonings. Yeah, I found this recipe online. Now I cannot remember where or who had cooked it. Looked fantastic, and I have just changed a few ingredients so that it suits us better. And there's the chicken going in. I'm going to coat and season that with oil. And quinoa doesn't take very long to cook, so it's quite a quick meal. And I love this for the warmer weather because you can cook it and put it in the fridge, and there's lunch, an absolutely perfect lunch. You've got a whole heap of great ingredients. Just putting a bit more spice in there, the Mexican chili spice. And getting that all tossed around. Heating up the chicken. Now I'm going to add the quinoa, 1.5 cups. I'm going to toss that around, and then that will cook in the stock so that it takes on that beautiful rich flavor. I don't cook with quinoa very much, but I do love it. I think it's great, and I really need to make myself cook with it more, experiment, try different things out. So we're just getting that steamed up. It's drawing up, and I've got a little bit extra water there because I just wanted to make sure I had enough liquid in there. Add a little bit because I don't measure the amounts of stock I have in each bag. It's just around about a couple of cups, and yeah, then if I need a little bit more, I just add a little bit of water, and that is soaking up. We get the veggies back in and get them tossed through. The color is just beautiful. That is packed with veggies, that meal. So I guess instead of having a pasta with veggies, you've got less grains and more meat and vegetables. There we go. This was really, really good. And I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it cold. Everything's still got a little bit of a crunch to it, which is how I like the vegetables. And here's the pie. It's been in the oven while I've been cooking the quinoa. And this looks good too. So we'll just chop into it. That crust is so, so good. I made it in a previous video. And I'll get a piece out. Oh, look, it's so hot and very, very nice. No one can complain about a pie, a chicken pie, with just those basic ingredients. It's so good. So, so good. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. If you are still here, I really appreciate your support. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.